Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we're going to be looking at a very special ring, and this ring is special because it has one of the effects in the game, which is only on, I believe, 3 items total. 2 other items, if you count this one, has one of the 3. And it is the effect Slain Monsters Rest in Peace. We will go over that. And this ring is Nature's Peace. Nature's Peace is a level 69 ring, and it does have the Slain Monsters Rest in Peace mechanic. Now, what this means is that when the monster is killed, he cannot be resurrected. He cannot be used for a corpse explosion. He cannot be used for a skeleton. He cannot be revived. He cannot be find itemed or find potioned by a barbarian. He cannot be used in the corpse explosion for the necromancer or the death sentry corpse explosion on the assassin. Basically, when you kill a monster with Slain Monsters Rest in Peace, the monster's corpse is completely unusable by anyone. And this can be a good thing, and it can also be a bad thing. For instance, if I was a necromancer, I would probably not want to wear this ring at all, because having the inability to use any type of corpses for my disposal, to make mages or skeletons or revives or corpse explosions or anything, is definitely a bad thing. If I was a paladin who was relying on redemption, for instance, I would probably not want to use this either. Redemption also is blocked by this particular ability. However, it does have some positive uses as well. For instance, if you fight Neelithak has the ability to corpse explode corpses, just the same way a necromancer does, and it can be very deadly. However, if you go in and fight Neelithak with Nature's Peace on, you will prevent him from being able to utilize his corpse explosion on you. One of the easiest ways to show you this is if we go somewhere like Stony Field. There are monsters known as Fallen. The Fallen have a mechanic where the shaman will resurrect them, and as the shaman resurrects them, they will gain back, their life. However, if you kill them in the normal way, they will just simply be resurrected again. And there are lots of monsters in the game which have this mechanic of the ability to be resurrected. However, if you are wielding Nature's Peace, they will not be able to resurrect their own. And this is very important. So let's hop into here, because I know there's a couple shamans in this particular zone. And let me just give you an example. So right now, I do not have Nature's Peace on. And if I go over here to the shaman, which is usually here in the corner, and I kill one of his minions, he will resurrect said minion. However, if I put on the Nature's Peace ring and I kill one of his Fallen, you will notice that none of them are coming back to life. We also have an interesting sound effect which occurs when the monsters are killed, and an animation which shows the monster's soul essentially like being summoned forth to the other realm, which is quite interesting, essentially signifying that that monster's corpse can no longer be utilized for any skills. And just to really dig it in, we have Grimward here, which is supposed to be used on corpses, and as you can see, I cannot use Grimward on these corpses. If I were, however, to take the ring off and kill a particular monster, I could effectively use Grimward on that monster's corpse. And let's see if I can... Don't still have Nature's Peace on, do I? Make a fool out of me, will you? There we go. Nice little Grimward. Look here, Griswold. Don't like you. You suck. Yo, mama is a hoe. I know I don't have the best weapon in the world, but still, die, Griswold. Ha. I still got my sword guard on. My sword guard. But what else does Nature's Peace have on it besides Slain Monsters Rest in Peace? Well, it also has Prevent Monster Heal, which means that any monster you hit with this particular effect, with the exception of Ubers, Ubers are not affected by this, it will cause the monsters to not heal for 20 whole minutes, which is around a long period of time. That means the monsters cannot regenerate while under this effect, and if you watch their HP closely, you will see there is absolutely no regeneration. If I take that ring off and I attack a monster, the monster's HP will actually slowly kind of regenerate over time. And let me use an attack which is a little less killy. So you notice how the monster's HP is just kind of slowly regenerating back up to full. You can see it kind of continually going up no matter what. Well, if I put on this ring and I hit them again, they will not have the same nice regeneration effect. And this can actually be quite helpful because if you are a character who is struggling a little bit to kill monsters, the regeneration can actually be a really big detriment to your particular character. On top of the Prevent Monster Heal and the Slain Monsters Rest in Peace, we also have a Poison Resist of 20 to 30%. We have Damage Reduced by of 7 to 11. And then we also have some very nice level 5 Oak Sage charges. Now, the Oak Sage is relatively low level and doesn't really have a lot of HP, but it will beef up my HP and its own HP, believe it or not, very nicely. And as long as I have the ring on, he will stay. I'm pretty sure that if I take the ring off, he disappears. They are making a patch soon that will apparently increase the survivability of the sages and could potentially make it so that this ring is far more usable than it currently is. Unfortunately, at current, the sage probably dies more often than he is useful. As you can see, he's already dead and we are just in Act 1 hell. However, with the changes, they're talking about increasing the physical resistance of the monster. You can also, if you are on a character that has shouts, you can beef him up. So you can give him shouts to increase his defense and his HP as well, which can come in handy and help you keep him alive. Now, there's some things to talk about with Nature's Peace that is more along the lines of, a common courtesy, as it were. So Nature's Peace has an effect on it which is extremely powerful, but it is also an effect which can troll the ever-loving crap out of your teammates. If you join a game and you have a ton of necromancers or characters that are utilizing, corpses, like maybe you have a poison necromancer who's using corpse explosion, or a trap assassin that's using death sentry, or maybe you have a find item barbarian who's just trying to have a good time, horking corpses. Take off your Nature's Peace and put something else on instead. If you're going in and you're killing Neelathak and you're worried about corpse explosions, then do so. It is important to remember, though, that when you have Nature's Peace on, it does not work for your mercenary. So if you go in, for instance, to Halls of Pain, and specifically you are looking for Neelathak, do remember that Neelathak will not be deterred by monsters that your mercenary kills. And this is very important because if you're in here and you're trying to survive, and I'm going to go straight to Neelathak because I know where he is. And if you want to know how I know where Neelathak is, the answer to that question is I actually have a video up that shows exactly how to find Neelathak. And I know he is this way. So when I am in here and I am fighting Neelathak and I kill the monsters, I won't have to worry about him corpse exploding everything, which is pretty nice for me, especially as like a melee character like this. Because if you're in here in the thick of it and you kill a monster and Neelathak starts corpse exploding things, I guarantee you're going to die. Corpse explosion is massive amounts of damage, and it can really rip your health down very quickly. And the more corpses you make, the more corpse explosions he has, so forth and so on. But like I said, keep in mind that if your mercenary makes the kill on something, it will not create a unusable corpse. And Neelathak will still be able to corpse explode with corpses. I can't count how many times my my mercenary has gotten me killed when it comes to Neelathak. A lot. Let's just say a lot. He's gotten me killed quite a lot. And as you can see, I've killed most of the monsters in here, and not a single corpse explosion from Neolithak. Definitely very nice. All he's left with is his poor little Arctic Blast. Poor little Neolithak. Poor little Neolithak. Die, die, die. Anyway, Nature's Peace is a rather amazing little ring, and it certainly is nice to have in your repertoire. I wouldn't necessarily use it all the time. It would be something that I would probably swap in and out, depending on the characters that are in the game. And if you want to find this ring, the easiest place to find this ring, as far as I remember, is Bale in Hell difficulty. Bale has a 1 in 3,845th chance to drop the ring, whereas Blood Raven in Hell difficulty has a 1 in 29,176 chance, which is relatively high. It looks like Bale pretty much has the best chance on this. We can also look at super uniques, and as far as super uniques are concerned, pretty high chances on them, but it looks like the Summoner is the best chance for one of these. And then, of course, you can look at regular monsters, too, if you want to. If you're wondering what website I'm using for probabilities, fairly simply, it is Silo Spen. SILOSPEN. It's a fairly simple tool. You just put in the item you want. You put in like the amount of players that are there, that are in your team, and so forth and so on, and you choose the item. And then you choose the type of monsters that you would like to be fighting, like bosses, for instance. And you would hit find, and it'll tell you the probabilities for all the monsters. And honestly, it does look like Hell Bale is your best chance. Hell Mephisto is not bad either. He might be a decent place to farm as well. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, and have a peaceful night.